Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Sagittarius placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Sagittarius, to get started, at the time I'm filming this, Mercury is about to go retrograde this Sunday in your sign, Sagittarius, and then into Scorpio. So that might have a significant impact on your energy in the coming weeks. But if you're watching this at a later date, there still is this feeling of something from the past. I'm getting a very strong Cancer reading or Cancer energy. So you may want to watch the last Cancer reading because that one had a message in there about like something from the past coming back around so that you can get a new perspective on it. But for you, Sagittarius, it feels more like you're clearing something out from the past. Like it does feel kind of like a purification kind of energy, like purifying something. What I'm getting though for you is that actually you have a new beginning somewhere, and it's feeling like you're in the midst of, either you're in the midst of taking the first step in something, or you're considering it, or you're about to, or like that's kind of how it's coming through, which is interesting though. This retrograde energy that we're about to go into, because I feel like some people in the spiritual community have sort of like reservations about signing new contracts or that kind of thing, like during Mercury retrograde, which I feel like is not. I feel like for you, Sagittarius, it is an alignment. So always use your discernment, of course, but it's kind of like this feels kind of like something that you missed out on in the past. So in order for you to have this new beginning, it has to come through Mercury retrograde, if that makes sense. Because it's like something that you already missed out on. So in order for this new beginning to happen, it needs to come back around if in that case. So I feel like in this case it's coming through as like a correction of something that you missed out on previously in whatever way that is. It doesn't have to be exactly the same circumstance or thing or relationship or whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly the same circumstances or details, but I do feel like it's an overall like feeling or state for you, Sagittarius. Like it's something like success, right? Like experiencing success. But in the past, maybe there were, for whatever reason, like you missed out on reaching some level of success in your chosen field. And it's like maybe you're no longer in that field, or maybe you're no longer in that circumstance, and it's like you're finding success in this new place, in this new circumstance, but it's something that you were always meant to experience, if that makes sense. It does feel like something that you were meant to experience. It's really coming through strongly. Like I'm seeing like the Starborn card in this deck, which talks about destiny and fate, which I know are really big words, but it is feeling kind of like there is a version of you in the future that already has this, is how it's feeling. Like that's why it feels like so very strong, but at the same time also very scary. It is coming through as a little bit like it's like whatever this potential is feels a bit scary for you. And it could be something where it's like maybe you don't know if you like it's feeling like doubt is how I'm gonna phrase it. Like maybe doubting your own abilities or something like that. But the message that's coming through for you, Sagittarius, is that a future version of you already has this. You've already achieved whatever it is that you're moving towards. Like you already are in that state that you are meant to experience. The future version of you already has it, and you're about to step into that. I feel like there's also something here where I don't know if this is your energy or if this is somebody else around you. So just take it how it resonates. I'll explain it both ways. Maybe there's a little bit of both for you, but it's like, I feel like there's something either where you are wanting to ask somebody for help or for assistance or whatever, or that there's something that you need and you may want to ask somebody for help, but there's fear about that, or that, like, maybe not help, but ask somebody something, right? Like, it does feel kind of like you, like, there's a desire to approach someone with a request or something like that. And there may be this fear. It feels kind of like a fear of rejection, right? Like, the worst thing that they can say is no. I feel like that's the message that's coming through with this. But the message that I was getting very strongly is that the answer is going to be yes, but not yet, is how it was coming through to me. Like, not yet was being very emphasized. Like, the answer is yes, whatever it is, but not yet. So that could be something where, like, that could be a message for you where maybe you're wanting to ask somebody for something and, like, the answer is yes, you can have that or whatever, but not yet. Or somebody is wanting to ask that of you, Sagittarius. So just take that how it resonates, because I feel like there's something here where it's like there's something about timing that's making somebody a bit anxious is how it's coming through. So that could be you or somebody else. Like, wanting something to happen faster, or like wanting to be at the end goal right away. It might not happen like that. It's going to be a slower process. Yes, but not yet. Okay. I'm going to pull cards for you. What is your energy, Sagittarius? The Destroyer. Okay. I see this as a very positive card, though, because I feel like there's something here where, especially that energy that was coming through with, like, this is something from the past that I feel, or like, what may be affecting you energetically right now, Sagittarius, is something from the past. Like, and it feels kind of like, let's say in the past, like, you had a job, like, I'm just going to put it in the context of a job, but it doesn't have to be work related for you. But just as an example, like, you had a job that, like, you were underappreciated, undervalued. It didn't end well. Like, you ended up leaving for whatever reason. And there's this feeling of, like, having the pain or the wound, or, like, I'm seeing it almost like scummy is the word that I would use. Like, if like water has been sitting in a vessel for a really long time, it gets sort of like that, like, you see, like, the calcium deposits and all of that along the vessel. Like, that's what I'm seeing. Like, scummy, like, dirty in some way. From, like, the disappointment or the ending or the negative energy or whatever it is, in whatever context this is for you. I feel like for some of you, it might not be work related, but it might be in terms of relationships. It doesn't have to necessarily be romantic, but it could be. And I feel like it also has something to do with, like, your passion or your fire. Like, there's something here about, it feels almost like two different aspects of your life that became enmeshed in some way. Like, something where it's like, just as an example, Sagittarius, only take this if it resonates, where, like, let's say you were in a relationship of whatever kind. It doesn't have to be romantic, but especially if, but it definitely could be. Like, that it's a strong message coming through with that, where, let's say you were in a relationship and this other person, like, was not encouraging of your passion or your creativity, or, like, the things that they're passionate about, or you're, like, the projects, the things you were creating, like that kind of thing. Like maybe they even put you down in some way, or they like discouraged you from pursuing your passion, right? Like for example, so in that case, your passion, whatever that like creative potential was lost, and you suffered disappointment and hardship and heartache in relationships as well, right? So like two things that became like two aspects of your life that became tied together in a negative way. And I feel like what you're doing in this destroyer energy, or like what you're being encouraged to do, maybe 1111 on the timer as I was holding that up, is to destroy the cord, I feel like, that was attaching this, because it's almost like something where it's like, let's say you, interesting. I'm just going to keep using that example because more's coming through with that. So let's say that relationship that I feel like was like borderline abusive in whatever way, right? Like because it's kind of like they discouraged you from pursuing something that you were really passionate about, right? They discouraged growth in a sense. Let's say that relationship is over. So there's like that part's put aside, it's over. And let's say you now focus your attention on growing this creative new venture, right? Like, and it's like, it's flourishing. There's some sort of like creative new passion or whatever it is for you. But it's almost like there's a new beginning in a relationship now, in a different relationship, and whatever, potential for happiness. But because of the connection between, relationships are going to cause me to lose this creative passion that I have, I'm not going to pursue that relationship, right? Like that's how it's coming through. There's a negative association between relationships and creativity. For example, this just as an example for someone, just take it if it resonates. So it's kind of like there's a negative association that is needing to be destroyed between those things. Not all relationships are going to dampen or stifle your creativity. The healthy, positive ones are going to nourish it and allow it to flourish, right? Like that's how it's coming through. There's a negative cord that I feel like is being like is preventing you from seeing something positive out of this. I don't know. That's what, but I feel like you are working through that, Sagittarius. Like it is coming through as being like a bit uncomfortable. Like this card is an uncomfortable one because it involves I feel like it's coming through for you as like a purification process, like going back to the past and seeing the truth about something that I feel like is like uncomfortable in some way. Like there is some sort of truth about this. I don't know, maybe it is a relationship for you specifically that feels uncomfortable. But I feel like at the same time, it is liberating you from something. Very interesting, Sagittarius. Okay. What's an energy outside of Sagittarius? Apocalypsis. Yeah. Removal of the veil. It's a truth that sets you free, but that there is discomfort in it. And you have the comic at the deck, which is so interesting. This was at the bottom of the deck when I picked this deck up. So it's here again, the comic. Apocalypsis. Sagittarius, I feel like maybe you, like, okay, I need one more card for what's in between these energies. Like, how are these energies affecting one another? The orphan showed itself, but didn't flip out all the way. Okay. Yeah. The healer, the prayer, and the vision. Very interesting. I love that combination of cards for you, Sagittarius. Like, I think there's something here where, so because the orphan card flipped out, but, it didn't flip out all the way. So I feel like there's an influence there of the orphan energy, but that it's something that you're healing. It feels like you're healing your vision. Again, it is feeling kind of like something where, that example is really wanting to come through. So it doesn't have to exactly be that for you, but the example of like in the past, you were in a relationship that discouraged or prevented you from growing in a particular way. And it feels like either creative, it could be like a hobby or something like that, but it feels much more impactful is what's coming through, like that it may have had an effect on your finances as well, right? Like someone who, let's say it was like a hobby that you had the potential to like monetize it or whatever, as an example, right? It had the potential to grow in that way, but your partner discouraged that. That's how it's coming through. So it's like you never got the financial compensation that you could have, maybe because you didn't pursue it because of this relationship that was discouraging you, right? As an example, Sagittarius. And it's like or like there's someone who like didn't believe in you or that kind of thing. So it's like there's an association there for you that I feel like you are destroying. That is healing your vision, and also with the prayers coming through with like maybe like a dream or wish that you had or something that you've always wanted, or some way in which you could find your purpose is what's coming through with that. Because the prayer talks about giving of yourself, of asking how you can be of service to others. But I feel like there's something here with the apocalypsis where so I don't know if this is like, maybe there's something here of like a particular person who is now seeing the truth about you, that you were always meant to do this, or that this is like something that I don't know, maybe this person underestimated you in some way. But they're seeing that now, right? And it's like, this is not to excuse them or anything like that. Like that is problematic. I feel like that it's something here where it's the veil is being removed on something. And if it was someone who was like very critical of you in some way, or like they were dismissive is how it's coming through, or they discouraged you from pursuing this dream, or they said that like, you know, whatever it was, like, Sagittarius, be realistic, right? Like that kind of thing where it's kind of dismissive and condescending, and like them sort of being in this state of like, oh, I'm a realist and you're delusional, right? Like it's that kind of energy where it's like they're painting themselves as like someone who was realistic, and you having dreams was being delusional, like that kind of energy. They're now seeing that was a projection of their own fears onto you. That's how it's coming through. Like they are seeing, or maybe you're seeing, that this person who discouraged you from pursuing a dream that you have was projecting their own shit onto you, right? Like, that's how it's coming through. And I feel like you're destroying that sort of projection that this person may have had on you, like may have projected onto you, like, oh, Sagittarius, you know, that's a fool's dream or whatever. Like, that's I don't even know, like, whatever it is that they were saying to discourage you from pursuing something that your soul knew was meant for you, all of that illusion is being dismantled. I feel like you are going through a significant healing process as well. For some of you, it could be something like a parent or parental figure had illusions like that were being projected onto you that you're healing. Doesn't have to be that, of course, for you. Just take it how it resonates. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. Interesting. Yeah, okay, a whole bunch of cards flipped out. Fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. I feel like this, because this card here, the patterning of the cup and the apocalypsis is really what I'm getting here. Like as being similar, where I feel like the cup is coming through as being like something where, this person thought that they were helping you, right? That's how it's coming through. Criticism is really coming through as being a strong influence in this dynamic. Strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. Good luck. Horseshoe. Target, a goal-oriented person. Okay. I feel like what you're destroying is like how it's wanting to be phrased is projections or illusions that were disguised as constructive criticism. That's what's coming through with this card. Like someone who sees themselves in a position of, who sees themselves as being above you or whatever. Like, it's coming through with like shadow teacher energy, right? Like, who thinks they know better than you, like that kind of thing, who discourages you instead of motivates you. Where it's like this person, it does feel like a person or a pattern in your life or something like that. An energy that was born out of wounding is how it's coming through as well. That energy disguised their own fears and self-doubt and projections onto you as a form of constructive criticism and saying, like, Sagittarius, this is for your benefit. It wouldn't do you any good to pursue this. It's a waste of time. It's not good for you. Like, whatever it is, like, you wouldn't benefit from this, Sagittarius. Like, discouraging you from pursuing something as a form of constructive criticism. Like, I'm doing this for your benefit, Sagittarius. That's how it's coming through. And I feel like there was, in a way, a loss that you suffered because of that advice or whatever, right? And it's like, I do feel like you missed out on something because of following that advice. Yeah. You have 4-leaf clover at the bottom of the deck. Great good fortune. So lots of luck coming through with it, because I feel like in some way, like, it could be that this relationship, if I don't know if they're still in your life, or if they are, you are now, like, you're seeing the truth of it now, is how that's coming through. And you are healing something of what this person's influence was on you. There may even be like an actual physical pain that's associated with this. Like, and I feel like it's also wanting to say, like, I'm not getting any sort of resentment from you, Sagittarius, even though there maybe in the past there was, but it feels more like understanding and compassion, and knowing that maybe this person actually did think that they were helping you, right? Like, that's possible. They did believe that they were helping you at the time, but I feel like now they are seeing that they weren't helping you. Like, I feel like there is something like that where it's like they had good intentions, but they can see now that it hurt you to do this. Like, to, it does feel kind of like they had good intentions. Interesting. Anyways, I do think that you are showing them a new way. If this is somebody that is still in your life in some way, I feel like they are going through some sort of uncomfortable self-reflection that is showing them that they were wrong to discourage you in some way, because it ended up hurting you, or caused you to miss out or lose something. I do feel like you're healing that, though. Or it may even cause them to lose out on something, because I feel like the spear is right in the middle for you. So I feel like maybe this relationship fell apart or something like that. There's heartache in this dynamic. At a crossroads. The tarantula. That's a card about choosing life's purpose, I believe. 1 second. Claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. Yeah. When in balance, follows intuition. When out of balance, hesitates and over-intellectualizes. This is about choosing your life's purpose. I feel like I said that in the beginning, right? Like, destiny, fate. This is you choosing something that is truly meant for you, that I also feel like is something that, like, your future self already has, and you're taking the first steps towards that. There is also this feeling of, like, not feeling satisfied until you choose this thing, whatever it is. There's the orphan at the bottom of the deck. I didn't flip this over after I finished pulling those last few cards, and there it is, right? Like, the orphan. I feel like there's also something about your inner child that I think would that would make your inner child really happy for you to choose this. And I feel like your inner child is going through a healing process, or that you as an adult are healing or is going through a healing process so that your inner child can be heard or nurtured. This may have been something that happened to you as a child, like, or if not that, it's like, because I keep getting this energy of like, this was always meant for you. Like, maybe there's something where in the past, however long ago that was, it doesn't have to be, well, I feel like for some of you it will be a long time ago. Your inner child was dismissed in some way. And in dismissing your inner child, you veered off course, is how it's kind of coming through. And it's like, this is the first step to getting back on course, if that makes sense. See energy outside Sagittarius, the eagle, goal-oriented person. And in between two of you, the raccoon, yeah. The raccoon, so I feel like it does have something to do with a creative venture for you in some way, or like, you have the wolf at the bottom of the deck. There's a lot of family energy that's coming through with this, like, okay, I'm gonna read the raccoon, but I feel like it has, well, this card talks about, like, someone who's shy. There's, like, okay, anyway, I'll read it. Talented, shadowy, and in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes, using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times, it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved, yeah? A creative ego fear. It's fear of your own creativity. Sagittarius, that's how it's coming through, like, and I feel like there's something here where you may even be going through a removal of the veil for yourself, like how you might see yourself versus how other people around you who are supportive, right, would see you. Because I feel like here with the eagle, this card talks about mastery of fire and air. And it's coming out under horseshoe and good luck, where you may actually be experiencing something at the moment, Sagittarius, where you're going through an ego death, but in a positive way, where there was an aspect of an aspect of your ego that was holding you back from your own destiny. Like, that's how it's feeling. Because there was a negative association within your ego between, like, creativity and success, or creativity and relationships, or creativity linked to something else that was unrelated, right? Like, or that shouldn't necessarily be related, if that makes sense. Like, creativity and success, creativity and work, or whatever. There's some sort of, like, connection there that is holding you back from your full potential. That maybe was formed in childhood, right? Like with the wolf, there's this very strong, like, like parental or familial kind of energy there that I feel like you're breaking free from. The devil. Okay. And Page of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're breaking free from some sort of negative pattern with the Destroyer energy. Page of Wands, like, that to me talks about like some sort of, again, creativity, of course, right? In a very playful way, like creating something just for fun or just for the sake of it. A new adventure, learning, playfulness, joy. But it also talks to me about like starting a new adventure. Like to me, it is the Fool, because all of the pages have Fool energy, but this one is the most about like taking some sort of action that will allow you to start a new journey. That's how it's coming through today. Passionate is really what is coming through with that. Especially with the Devil as well. Knight of Pentacles. But it feels like grounding something. Like, I feel like you're taking the first steps to ground something. That's very interesting. Okay, I feel like there's almost something here of like, you're seeing someone as a mentor in some way, or like, maybe that's not quite right, because I feel like it's not quite like you're learning from them. It doesn't quite feel like mentor in that way, but it feels more like someone that you look up to, or someone that you you really admire or respect, but that you don't see yourself in that light. But it, like, what's actually coming through with this is that like you are seeing a future version of yourself that you don't yet feel connected to, is how that's coming through. Like, it's like, that's really interesting. It's kind of like in Harry Potter in the third book, where Harry and Hermione are about to like be like attacked by Dementors at the end, and Harry sees this figure who casts a Patronus and saves them, right? And he thinks, like, in his like foggy mind, he thinks that it's his dad, that who of course had passed at that point, like he wasn't alive. He thought it was his dad that he was seeing who came to save them, but in reality it was a future version of himself. Like, because of it doesn't matter. It was a future version of himself that he didn't believe was him, because at that point in his life, he wasn't able to produce that kind of magic. Like, that's how it's coming through. Like, you are experiencing something here, Sagittarius, where you are seeing a future version of yourself. But because you're at this point in your life, you don't yet see yourself capable of producing the type of magic that would be required to get you to that point. And it, like, what the message is coming through with is like, yes, that is a version of your future, but not yet, because it's like, it takes time to get to that, or it takes some more knowledge or more experience, or like with the Knight of Pentacles, a very grounded, steady, day by day routine approach, where it's like you're grounding something, you're putting the work in, you're steadily and regularly and routinely putting in the work and the effort to do something, right? It's a very stable, steady investment of your time and energy, whatever it is for you. Very interesting. Okay. And I feel like that first step is going to be very scary. Justice. And the Eight of Swords. Yeah. Justice and the Eight of Swords. I don't think that you truly believe that you can get there. At this moment in time, I feel like there's a bit of self-doubt that's creeping in. And that's normal. That is normal. But I think that what this reading is wanting to ask you is like, where is that self-doubt actually coming from? Like, where's the origin of that coming from? Because that's what you need to destroy, right? Like the seed of self-doubt. Injustice. Maybe there was some sort of injustice in the past. That's sort of where it's coming through as being like, that was the start of it, or that was the cause of the self-doubt, this injustice. Ace of Pentacles. There's your new beginning. Yeah. I feel like it's like there is a little bit of energy here where it's like wanting you to like dig deeper into your past. Caution with that though. Like don't get stuck in it. But it's like in order to identify where this seed of distrust is actually what I heard. Like not trusting in yourself is tied to this self-doubt or not believing in yourself or that kind of thing. The seed of distrust, which is interesting. But once you remove that, because I do feel like there is this destroyer energy there where it's like you're destroying that seed of distrust, opens up this new beginning for you, right? Because it's the eagle, it's mastery over something. To me, the eagle also talks about like triumph and like getting the thing that you were looking for or like achieving some sort of goal. And that's the Ace of Pentacles, right? Like this new thing. It feels kind of like a fear of creation, of like fear of your own creative potential. 10 of Wands. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune. I love this Wheel of Fortune card. It's so interesting. I'm seeing abundance in this. 6 of Cups. Yeah, I do feel like it's destined for you in some way. And if there is something here where it's like you can't really identify where this seed of distrust began from, it could be that it's like a past life karma kind of thing. Like it could even be something where it's like in a past life you missed out on it. So it's maybe it doesn't feel familiar to you in that way, but it's like this was a like because in a past life you were dismissed or overlooked or you didn't get whatever, some form of success that was meant for you. It's like this now in this life is the karmic balance to that. That's how it's coming through. Very interesting, Sagittarius. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated for you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.